Welcome to a new video of mine where I'm gonna talk about forgiveness in general. So let's start with some pretty basic things whilst I'm gonna cut my broccoli. So why is it important to forgive? It's just if you can't forgive somebody, it feels very heavy. You're constantly kind of like carrying this weight with you. It's constantly in your head. You're kind of like mad at this person. Whatever it is, I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about. And it just feels really heavy in general. And that's why I want to talk about this, because not that long ago, I still had that mindset that I can't forgive certain people because they hurt me or they did something that I can't relate to or that I don't really understand or that I don't know why they did that, like it doesn't make sense, whatever it is. And I just had this mindset that if I forgive them, they think that it's okay and that they will do it again or whatever it is, right? Now, so as I said, not that long ago, I had this mindset and now I shifted it because I understood that to be happy and to feel lighter, I have to forgive certain people in my life. For example, my parents. I think that a lot of us have kind of like issues with our parents. We don't really understand why they did certain things. Like, we just cannot relate to them, right? Now, here's the important thing to understand. They had to go through this. They had to live this experience. They just, at that point where they chose to do this, if it's your parents or a friend or whatever it is, they just didn't know better. Like, they are living for the first time too. And even right now, if it just doesn't make sense to you, I get you. But you have to understand that even you yourself, sometimes you do things and later on you're like, what the fuck? Like, why did I do that? Right? Like, that was weird. And the thing is that it happens even to adults, right? And right now I'm talking mainly about parents because I think that a lot of us have kind of like an issue with that. But it's for everyone, right? Like, forgiving something, and I'm not saying forgetting it. Like, right now I'm only talking about forgiving. You just have to accept that this happened, these circumstances are what they are, and just forgive it, let it go. And that's also the reason, or like, yeah, kind of like the reason why you have to let go of your past, or like it's one of the things of like letting go of your past is forgiving. Because if you cannot forgive, you're constantly in this state of like, oh my god, this person did this to me, they did that, oh my god, oh my god. And you're kind of like defining yourself through these experiences. And what happens is that you don't really have any empathy for what these people did to you, or not even maybe to you directly, but even maybe to themselves, right? But the important thing here is to understand that they had to go through this experience. Okay, so as I said, I had this realization not that long ago, and when I realized it, I was like, okay, but I can't just forgive everything and then go on and still like keep up with them, like not losing any contact, right? Like, just staying in contact with them, staying friends, or if it's your parents, staying good with them, whatever it is, right? And so I was like, okay, I have to forgive, but at the same time, I have to protect myself and I have to honor my own boundaries. That's where it kind of like became a bit tricky for me, because I was like I just didn't really know what to do or how to do it. But then I actually found the solution. So let us go back to the example of like parents in general. Let's say that your mom, I don't know, was an alcoholic or whatever it is, or your parents divorced. Whatever it is, they did something to you that hurt you, maybe traumatized you, and you just don't get it. You're hurt, and you just actually want them to love you, right? At the end of the day, that's it. Because otherwise, it wouldn't hurt you. Now, the thing here is, okay, so let's take this example that your mother is an alcoholic. Now, let's say she has been an alcoholic like 10 years ago maybe, but now she has changed the past 5 years. She's not the same anymore, but you still see her as this alcoholic, like this person who maybe had anger issues, couldn't control themselves, couldn't take really good care of you because she constantly was drinking, whatever it is, right? You just only see like this picture of them now because you just perceive them as they were in this certain period of time, right? Or maybe you know something about them, they did or like you. Maybe you can't really relate to the fact that your parents are divorced or whatever it is. You just have to keep in mind that they had to go through this experience. Now, my point here is like the thing that I actually realized, and that to me is kind of like a breakthrough, is that, and this doesn't just apply for your parents, people in like general, if the person we are talking about did something to you, to themselves, to somebody else, you have to forgive them and like accept it. Don't forget it, but just forgive them. And now the important thing is that you have to see if they have changed or not. And this is like the huge point in this whole thing, because forgiving is okay, but if you don't know if you should still keep up with them, see them and whatever, you have to look at if they have changed or not. Because if they have changed, that's great, because I personally believe that people can change. I really, really believe it, and I also believe in second chances. So that's one thing. But another thing is that if they have not changed, so let's take the example of your mother is an alcoholic. If she still is, she still drinks, and you're trying to forgive her for, let's say you were like 5 or 6, she didn't take really good care of you, and you're kind of like traumatized of her, she had anger issues, she always screamed on you, whatever, and now you're an adult, and you're trying to forgive her for traumatizing you in your childhood. Yes, you can forgive her, right? And you should forgive her so you can let go of your past. But if she still is an alcoholic, in my opinion, like, you should honor your boundaries and go away. Because now you're like grown up enough and old enough to understand that it actually is not okay. Even if it's a family member, you don't have to like just accept everything they do because they are family. Because at the end of the day, family can also mean to you friends or your pets or whatever, right? Family doesn't have to be just like blood related, right? Okay, so my point is that You don't have to keep in touch with people that hurted you and are still hurting you. And you actually shouldn't, because you are not honoring your own boundaries that you should have set by now. And you're always like hoping that they will change. Maybe they will change, but at some point you just have to let it go. And if they change, that's great. You still can try to be open to it, to welcome them if they come to you. But at some point you just have to like drop the line, and that's it. That forgiving is something we all should do and try to implement more often in our life. But at the end of the day, you have to be very conscious about the people you choose to forgive and let go. The people you choose to forgive and let go, because they haven't changed, and the people you choose to forgive and welcome back into your life because they have changed. And that's such a beautiful thing, because you can make so much and so many new memories with them. But you have to understand that the people that don't change, yes, you have to forgive them, to be kind to yourself, to be able to go forward. But if they haven't changed, you don't have to stay with them, and you just have to honor yourself and your boundaries and just let it go. And you will always find new people to love and that love you. So don't be afraid to let go of people that are hurting you and that are not changing.